This next news story is from Insider Gaming, written by Mike Straw. Another Microsoft joint here. Microsoft responds to FTC over Xbox Game Pass price increase. After the United States Federal Trade Commission publicly stated that the recent price increase and tier changes to Xbox Game Pass would inflict consumer harm, Microsoft has come back with a message of their own. In a new filing, Microsoft says that the FTC's letter is misleading and gives an extra record account of the facts. I guess before we should go on, there was this article didn't really give a ton of context, but the FTC basically came out because we talked about the price increases last week on the show. FTC is like, this is not okay. And they kind of started throwing a big fit over the price increase, saying it's causing consumer harm and it's dangerous for the marketplace and all very inflammatory language. Like it's talking very negatively about the whole situation.
Yeah, they were trying to get it shut down.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to get Microsoft to back up and not go through with this. So here is Microsoft's response to that. They say the FTC letter is misleading, gives an extra record account of the facts. It is all wrong to call this a degraded version of the discontinued Game Pass for console offerings, Microsoft said. That discontinued product did not offer multiplayer functionality, which had to be purchased separately for an additional $9.99 a month, making the total cost $20.98 a month. While Game Pass Ultimate's price will increase from $16.99 to $19.99, the service will offer more value through many new games available day and date. Among them is the upcoming release of Call of Duty, which has never before been available on a subscription day and date. The letter adds that the FTC barely mentioned during the trial surrounding Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The focus of the trial was that Microsoft could keep Call of Duty off of PlayStation consoles. That Microsoft says has nothing to do with the price tier changes to Game Pass. So FTC basically coming out and being upset about the price increase doesn't make sense because the court cases weren't about price increases. The court cases were about Microsoft potentially not allowing PlayStation to have access to games and stuff like that. So why are you complaining about this when that's not what the issue was at all? Like the original issue was exclusivity, not pricing. Right. While the FTC has now tried to shift focus to its alleged subscription market, its letter does not map onto its arguments below. Setting aside that it is common for businesses to change service offerings over time, the FTC's case in all of its alleged markets has always been premised on vertical foreclosure, that Microsoft would withhold Call of Duty from rivals and therefore harm competition. But even in the alleged subscription market, Call of Duty is not being withheld from anyone who wants it. The letter closes with the company saying that there is no evidence to harming competition. Yeah, I gotta, I gotta side with Xbox on this one. I think they're right. Like they have a good case. Like they're like, there is no case. But also, I think you kind of made a good point before the show. I thought was interesting that the FTC, even though the court case wasn't necessarily focused on pricing, they did say this would happen, right? Like that that was a worry originally.
Yeah, and they literally called it. They said if you let this merger go through, as soon as the ink is dry and they are clear, they are going to raise prices because they have to start to recoup on this deal, right? And yeah, they have the money to do it, but why do we have to do it if we can let the consumer base pay for it?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened. They are raising the price. Granted, they are supposedly adding more value by bringing Call of Duty, which they were going to do either way. I kept telling you guys, there's no way I'm spending $70 billion and not putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. You're out of your mind if you think that wasn't going to happen. So now that we have confirmation pretty much that is happening, it only made sense that they were going to raise the price.
Yeah, no, it would.
And the FTC was right. I think they have grounds now, or if they wanted to pursue reopening another case.
You think so?
I think so, because that wasn't part of the whole thing. Is they had to let other companies develop things for their platform, like services for their platform, right? They had to break it up and let other doesn't like Ubisoft have the rights to some kind of a streaming deal with them?
Yeah, so Ubisoft does. I mean, now Nvidia does.
Right.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, so it was like streaming the games had to be available in more places. It also had to, not be, taking the major franchises like Call of Duty off of other consoles such as PlayStation or Nintendo and stuff like that. I feel like those are the two main ones. I don't know if pricing was ever a thing. I think it was brought up, but I don't know if it was ever like a full on like main point, like bullet point on the list, but maybe it was. Maybe I'm misremembering, but because if it was, then you're right. They do have a case, but I think I without doing research and just basing off of what Microsoft's response was, they make it out to be that wasn't ever an issue. Like, yeah, it was talked about, but it was never like a bullet point. Like, why are you making a fuss about it now? Like, that should have been something we talked about last year, the last 3 years or whatever. Like, why is this suddenly a thing? So, but I don't know. I missed, obviously, Microsoft could say whatever they want, and I didn't actually do the research to see. But I mean, if that's the case, like, what would even happen though? Like, they can't retroactively take back the deal, can they? They can't be like, sorry. I think that there's probably things in the law, right? In the law when it comes to these mergers and things like that, if you are breaking codes of conduct, I think that it can possibly send it back under review. I feel like common sense would have to dictate you need something like that. Otherwise, companies would just run wild as soon as the deal's gone. That's true.
Like, right? True. You could just straight up lie, and then once the deal's done, you can go back to doing whatever you want with no repercussions.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even be surprised if there was like a probationary period that was like an NDA maybe for the merger. Like, we're going to be watching you, for the first, 5 years of this merger. And if you, start to acting up, we're going to put this case back under review.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for the specifics. I haven't read the hundreds of pages of legalese fine print, unfortunately. But I think you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some eagle-eyed FTC members over there just like waiting to catch them on something. But I don't know. Time will tell if this is actually something, if there's anything to the fuss. But at this point, Microsoft seems pretty comfortable. Like, in this statement, they don't seem scared at all. So either they feel like they have enough money to fight the thing, or they really feel comfortable. Like, no, we haven't broken any rules. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, they technically do have enough money to fight the government. So
that's true. They could do it.
They literally do. So
it's true. Oh man. But I wonder. I mean, the worst comes to worst. Say the FTC is able to do a case, and they are able to to win it, I guess, against Microsoft. Yeah, worst case scenario, I guess, in my head is some fines, and they force them to not do the price increase. Basically, they're like, here's a fine, and you can't increase the price until X date or whatever. Right? That's probably all that would happen. Is just prolonging the inevitable. It's coming on March 30th of 2027 or something like that. All of a sudden they're allowed to like some random day. It's like, you can up your prices now. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Time will tell at this point. Got nothing to worry about.
Somebody's getting slapped down. I don't know if it's going to be Microsoft or it's going to be the FTC. We'll see.
Probably the FTC. I just imagine it almost like a little I don't know. I just picture like a little chihuahua like making a bunch of racket. Like that's the FTC. And then like someone just being like whack, just a little like smack on the head, like stop it
on the head.
Microsoft just doing stop it. No. And then the FTC like, okay, sorry. Crawling away. Okay. All right. Like Microsoft has so much power. They're not worried. But we'll see.
Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.